You are not ready. This is an emergency. This is an emergency. This is an emergency.
Watch it roll.
This is an emergency.
Watch it roll. Pop it, drop it. Watch it roll. Watch it roll. Watch it roll. Pop it, drop it. Watch it roll.
This is an emergency.
Watch it roll. Pop it, drop it. Watch it roll. Watch it roll. Watch it roll. Pop it, drop it. Watch it roll.
This is an emergency.
Watch it roll. Pop it, drop it. Watch it roll. Watch it roll. Watch it roll. You should kill it all. Kill it all. Kill it all. You should kill it all. Kill it all. Kill it all. What's up, shorty? Excuse my grammar. Can't help but notice you's a bad man. Jammer. If I take you home, I'ma drop that hammer. My swag got flash like a room full of cameras. Baby, you can be a trainer. Pop it, drop it, let me in. Haters hate it when winners win. So pop that booty in. Do it again. And I love how you make those haters mad. Built like a stallion and she so bad. Ugly chicks, they gon' feel sad. Cause she got something that they wish they had. Pop it, drop it, watch it roll. You so dope, you can be a model. Pop it, drop it, watch it roll. Booty so big, it can hold a bottle. Pop it, drop it, watch it roll.
This is an emergency.
Watch it roll. Pop it, drop it, watch it roll. Watch it roll. Watch it roll. Pop it, drop it, watch it roll.
This is an emergency.
Watch it roll. Pop it, drop it, watch it roll. Watch it roll. Watch it roll. Pop it, drop it, watch it roll. Watch it roll. Pop it, drop it, watch it roll. Watch it roll. Watch it roll.
This is an emergency.
Kill it all. Kill it all. Kill it all.
This is an emergency.
Kill it all. Kill it all. Kill it all.
This is an emergency.
Kill it all. Kill it all. Kill it all.
This is an emergency.
Kill it all. Kill it all. Kill it all. Yeah.
What is going on, everybody, man? Welcome to the Nashville Cavemen podcast. I'm your host, Damon Unleashed, and I'm here with a really good friend of mine that I consider a brother. Go ahead, roll out the red carpet, and let him introduce himself.
What up, everybody? First of all, shouts out to you, Davo, man. I'm glad to see you, brothers. Every Tuesday, man, I'll be waiting for this day. God has woke us up again to have another good week, another good show, another good topic or whatever. For those who don't know me, I'm also a Denver Bronco fan, if y'all don't see that. My name is Scott Black, and I'm a pro wrestler, and I'm a music publisher. And tonight, the D Bling Radio Show will play. We have new music tonight. If you are artists anywhere, especially if you local independent, hit us up so we can put you on the rotation on our radio show. If you need streaming or just a place to sit your music, especially if you got old music that you're not playing, bring it to me. Let me put it in my catalog. Let me stream it on offtoprecords.net so we can promote it and get people interested in whatever music that you have. And then your new music, let's play it on the radio station. And then when I'm done with you, go see Mr. Damo so you can get that interview that everybody was going to want to see so we can put your name in the hat for male or female artists
Of the year. It's the one trophy right here for the males. And my ladies, I didn't forget about y'all either. I got that trophy around here somewhere. So I'll show y'all that later on in the show. Actually, man, before we even got on air, I was networking with the artists in South Africa. So tomorrow, I'll have an interview with another artist, man, over across seas, man. It's already covered Europe or London, New Zealand, and next South Africa. Africa. Damn, can't even get that out. Happy Tuesday to y'all, man. I am sick of this rain. Sky, what I was going to tell you is, it seems like the days that I have off, it's always rainy or it's cold or something. But then when I'm at work, it be the most beautiful days that you can, like Saturday and Sunday was beautiful. Those were perfect days. I get off Monday, and then it rained all day yesterday.
I'll tell you, that's how I feel too, man. You know, it's like it's always the weather's always against me. When I want to get up and do something, it's pouring down rain or it's freezing cold.
Yeah.
The day I don't want to do nothing, it's the sunniest days going.
Yeah. Like Saturday, you know, because I work the weekend and I work 12-hour shifts on the weekend.
Mm-hmm.
So when I'm not working, I'm sleeping. Literally. Literally, all I do is eat, sleep, work, and shit on the weekend. Literally. I don't have time for nothing else. You know? And it was beautiful. It's already hard enough to sleep during the day and then be working at night. But then when it's a beautiful day, that makes it even worse, man.
Even worse. You're right. You're right about that. But hey, you know, it is what it is. You won't be doing it forever, right? So
you won't be doing it
what
forever.
you got to do for now.
And matter of fact, have you been following the March Madness? Because I have not been following March Madness.
Me neither. I've never been a big college person, football or basketball. I usually don't watch it till like the Sweet 16 because it's a lot of teams. And when I was growing up,
congratulations to the Tennessee Vols for making it to the Sweet 16, man.
Men's?
Congratulations to the Vols.
The men's?
The men's, yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, okay. Well, congratulations to them. Yeah, because at the beginning, it's too many. It's 64 teams. And then these last few years, they've done what they call the first four. Because, you know, at the end, it's the final four. And then they got what they call the first four, which is a play-in.
Yeah,
so
that's for the
last four teams to play
teams.
in for those last spots. I'm like, man, that's ridiculous. That's way too much basketball, right? Now the NBA has adopted it. You know that right now. The NBA has a play-in game these last 2-3 years.
Which I think is horrible too.
So, you know, so I can just linger all year and then at the end go through a play-in game to get to the playoffs. Right. What does that say about everybody else who's busted their butt trying to get into the playoffs when I can just linger and go do a play-in game and get in? So I don't know.
Right. You can have one bad game and your season over with. Even though you had a better season, a much better season than the other team, you got one bad game and that's it.
That's it. I don't know, man. So I don't know who come up with these rules, but yeah. But now I might start watching it maybe in a few days once it gets down. Because a lot of them teams I don't even know. I don't even know what state they come out of. If it don't say university or state on their team, like Syracuse, it was a while before I knew Syracuse was in New York. I didn't know Notre Dame was in Indiana. I didn't know Duke was in North Carolina. I mean, like, I didn't know these things. Right. Because they don't have the state attached to it. So you got a lot of these teams, St. Mary's Catholic school, like, why the hell is that at? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy.
Right.
So that's why I don't keep up with it like that.
Speaking of, man, we got some really good subjects today. Did you read that news story that I sent you early in the week? Because it blew me away. I was stupefied when I read this article. I had to go and research it and see, is this really a real thing? You know what I'm talking about, right?
Tell me again.
So let me go ahead and let you guys know what we're going to be talking about today. One of the things we're going to be talking about is the lawmakers in California are proposing a bill which would allow undocumented immigrants to come in and have an easy pathway to home ownership. What does that mean? What does that look like? That means they'd be able to come in with no money down and no interest. Now, California, the toilet bowl for homeless people. They got people out there that work 2 jobs and are still homeless. And they don't do none of this for them. Imagine you working 2 jobs. You got to pay the government, and then the government take your money and give it to somebody else that's not even from here.
I don't know why California is doing that, because you know whatchamacallit has about to file bankruptcy, right? Did you see that? Chicago?
Yeah.
You see the mayor of Chicago was about to file. He said they are 160 million in the hole. Yeah, that I did read. And they was talking about all these blue states are just having hard times. I'm like, yeah, you could be correct about that too. But the thing with California is this: whether you're homeless or you're making it, us Americans, we're starting to get hip to what the government is doing, right? So if the government is trying to fool people, right? And we're starting to get this because of the internet, we're starting to see what the game the government is playing. Then why wouldn't the government shift itself to immigrants? Because immigrants, all they're trying to do is just come into the country. they're not really trying to learn the rules, the laws. If an immigrant, if you give them a job, a place to live, and safety for their family, they will never question what the government is doing. As
But I understand why.
we're questioning why this, why that. So if you notice, a lot of Americans are leaving California and coming towards Tennessee. Well, and this is just my opinion. Well, then California's like, okay, y'all can leave. We're gonna bring in these illegals that can barely speak English, who's gonna vote for us each and every cycle, and we'll give them a nice little home, nice little 2-bedroom, nice little job, some schooling, and they will be our quote unquote political slaves for generations to come. And that's just my opinion.
Oh, that's exactly why the borders are open right now. That's exactly it. It is to replace, first of all, the black vote. Yeah. That's all this is. It's the black vote. It's checkmate. It doesn't matter anymore. It holds no value. They've let in over millions of people, and they're incentivizing them to vote for them. That's why they're giving them debit cards with over thousands of dollars on it. That's why they're giving them $9,000. And why Chicago is bankrupt right now, they're giving them migrants $9,000 every 6 months to cover their rent and to furnish their apartments.
That's right.
So all that money that normally will go to some of y'all programs, they're taking that money and allocating it elsewhere. Checkmate. That's what y'all voted for. Can't complain about it. You voted it in. You see what I'm saying? This stuff was on the wall. This was common sense stuff that I just don't get, that people just don't see it. But by the time they really get it and see it, it's going to be too late. But imagine, I'm just telling you, could you imagine me coming and going in your wallet, taking your money and then giving it to somebody else and telling you, man, you better pay me more and more and more? Every time you spend money, I'm taking money from you. That's the U.S. government.
That is, and that is right. And I'm sorry, y'all, I made a mistake. I said Chicago. It's Houston.
Houston is right. Wow.
The mayor, John Whitmore, says the city is broke. So I apologize to Chicago. It's Houston that is going broke and about to file for bankruptcy.
Wow.
And they are the bluest city in Texas. So yeah, y'all research that, how that city, as big as it is going broke.
Yep. In a minute, man, inflation is going to get worse.
Yeah, and you know they lost the lawsuit for the firefighters and policemen, so now they got to give them back pay and give them raises going forward. So the mayor's like, we don't have the money to do that and any other thing else. So y'all might not have trash pickup for a month because they can't pay the city employees.
That's nuts, man. That's nuts. That's what happened when you spending other people's money and then you run out of it. You run out of it, then what? What happens when you run out of other people's money?
And the current mayor is like, look, John Whitmore, he was like, I inherited it. Y'all just voted me in. I didn't know none of this stuff was going on. So prior to him, y'all are not paying attention to what these politicians are doing, right? So now because of people like Damo on the internet, y'all get woke. And so now these politicians are like, okay, if y'all are understanding the game that we're playing, then we're going to let in a lot of these immigrants who will never question us, ever. No. And they take their votes. And because some black people are starting to be like, hey, this ain't right. You know what I'm saying?
Right. And let me hip y'all onto this too, because this is why I like it. And this is why I like, to ask other people what's going on and figure out what's going on with it. So I found out, like in Colombia, for example, or in the Philippines, our money over there is 5, 10, 20 times the amount as it is here.
Yes.
So you can say, I got an associate that lives down in Colombia, right?
Right.
And I asked them, I was like, well, how much do you pay in rent? They pay $200. Now imagine that. Now that's in American dollars. And their money is pesos. It's like 750,000 pesos or something like that. which to you hear 750,000, that's a lot, but it's really only $200. So
Think about that.
that puts things in perspective. When we're talking about other countries and the value of their dollar and them coming here, working and sending money back. I was like, oh, that puts it in perspective now.
Yep.
Now
Absolutely.
you can understand why they can come here in groups, work together, and accept lesser pay than you would, right? It's still enough money for them to send back and take care of their family.
Amen. Amen. They'll come and take less pay, and they'll take the jobs that Americans think they're too good to do.
Yep.
They sure will. And won't complain and just keep moving. And then when they get too big for it, if they in the cleaning, then they will start their own cleaning service, hire their kids and nephews and stuff, and send more money back. So not only will they work for the man, but they'll start their own company on the side to make even more money.
You know the bizarre part about this, right? This puts in perspective why a lot of immigrants would work in unison. Why they live, because could you imagine if it was 10 of us all paying on rent? Say our rent was like $1,500, right? But we all chip in, it's 10 of us. So if it's 10 of us, we paying about maybe $150 toward the rent each, right?
Right.
Then we got the food aspect of it. Then we got the bills. When you really chop it up of how they probably put a ledger together, they got a lot of money left over to send back. Not only to pay for their families, if they got a wife and kids back, not only to pay for their rent, but for the wife to actually put money away. And so by the time the husband go back, he can start his own business there. Now he can finance his own business. We can't even do that.
I was just about to say that, Damo. You took the words right out of my mouth. Actually, I was just about to say that when they smarten up, because eventually some immigrants will smarten up. If it's 10 of them in one home, right? And let's say the mortgage is $500, $1,000 a month. If they each pay $1,000 a month, they're going to pay their mortgage off in 10 years. Instead of a 30-year mortgage, they're going to pay it off in 10 years. So that means from 11 on, all that money that they're saving, I was just about to say that they can either send it back home or start businesses back home or buy homes back home for their family. See, one thing about them is they know that, okay, if we do this, we can do this in 10 years. That 10 years is not a long time, depending on how old you are. So after 10 years, that means you're going to be living lovely for a long, long time. Ain't
that bizarre, man?
Yeah.
We can't even do it. Man, and our politicians, the sad part about it all, because I can't believe, I got to give it to my brothers and sisters, man, in the Hispanic community. The ones that's actually operating like that, y'all are brilliant beyond. You hear me? You understand what I'm saying? Man, but it's sad because we vote our politicians in office and they become millionaires. So the people are getting poorer. The politicians are getting richer. And not only are they getting richer off of our money, because the government don't have no money to pay themselves. Their money comes from taxes and backdoor deals. Y'all think, man, DT was the only president that was doing any backhand deals? No. Them other ones even doing more backhand deals. You know why? DT was already established when he got into office. He already had, you know what I'm saying, big houses and hotels and golf courses and stuff like that. He already was connected, right? But what about some of these other ones? What about JB, who's in there right now? He is a millionaire. How? His salary from the government don't pay him enough to become a millionaire. He's making what a top surgeon would make. Maybe a little more, maybe a little less. So how is it that he becomes a millionaire without there being some shady deals going on?
That's right. Most of them do. And the crazy part is, if we just go back in time, let's talk about from the 1900s to the 1950s, all of the shady stuff the government and presidents was doing because there was no internet. There was really no television. All you had was radio.
Was shady then.
Unless you had a good whistleblower and all America had was radio, they got away with murder. Do you hear me? Like
they still do.
That was literally mafia people in the government. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. So it's just today with the internet, we can catch it much faster, man. Catch it like crazy.
And you know the sad part, even though we got the internet, which makes it a little bit more complicated for them to get away with it. Right. Because our media, the American media, is so corrupt and so crooked, and we've seen it with COVID. They decided what information they was going to put out there and what information they were going to hide from the public. Right. So the media is the most dangerous entity. I thought the government was dangerous. No. There's a more powerful body than the government, and it is the media. The media is even more dangerous because when this stuff do happen and it's crooked, just like with that laptop and all that, I seen them pictures. Boy, I said, this boy right here, he's something else. But they swept it up under the rug. Nobody even talking about it. So that's dangerous.
It's very dangerous. And there's no perfect people in the world. So I don't expect no perfect politician. Right. But I expect you to at least be honest and transparent. And they're not doing that. Right. They're not doing that. And thank you. And they're not doing that at all. So right now it's mostly like, okay, what can I get away with? And right now, a lot of folks that are like, look, I'm tired of living this way. Those are your whistleblowers. Those are the people that's trying to figure out what's going on with the money. Because technically, the way the United States was set up, we vote the smartest people to be in office. That was the simple. Out of everybody in your neighborhood, who's the smartest person in your neighborhood? That's who you should send to represent you and your agendas and your money. Well, if they're idiots, and I don't know if they're idiots or not, but if they're assumed to be idiots, then what does that make us?
We the biggest fools. I mean, man, they robbing us in front of our face.
Yeah.
I mean, let's just call it what it is. Imagine somebody, they coming to rob you. They know they robbing you. You know they robbing you, and you get robbed anyway.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Ain't nothing you can do about it. And if you
there's something you can do about it, but it's just not enough people to care for it to have any impact. You understand what I'm saying? Because power always in numbers, but because the majority of people just don't care, or there's such division, right? Because most people don't care about things until it hits their doorstep. Then they want to care about it. Once it hits their doors, it's just like the housing crisis. People saw the housing crisis beforehand, but a lot of people didn't speak out against it. And the reason being because if it didn't affect them, then it wasn't part of their news. Then when it knocked on their doorstep, then all of a sudden, now, man, they want to address it.
That's right.
Now they want to address it.
Until it hits close to home, you're right. And a lot of us are like that. Hell, I was like that. If it ain't close to home, well, I should get better. You know what I'm saying? But you're right. You was absolutely correct.
Because I'm going to tell y'all like this. Ain't no way that I'm homeless in a tent in California, sleeping on them shitty and pissy streets. You know what I'm saying? Ain't washed my clothes in about 3.5 months. Drinking the same water that it rained 3 days ago. Going and getting garbage cans, looking for food. They got ants and flies and stuff crawling on it because I'm that hungry. And I work 2 jobs, and a politician is rich, living in a mansion, talking about giving my tax dollars that could help me if I was able to keep them. So this fool over here that ain't even from here, man, you know what? Let me tell y'all. I think as Americans, we need to get a little bit smarter. Let me tell you what I think I'm about to do. Man, I think I need to go ahead and cross over the border. I need to go over into Mexico. And I need to stay there for about 3 or 4 weeks and come back crawl through, swim through the piranha and shark-infested waters of the Gulf, climb over that barbed wire, and then speak a whole nother language. Como está? Muy bien, y tú? Buenos dias. And go right in and try to get them same benefits. You hear me?
Yeah, and you know what? Again, everything's not perfect because a lot of them I understand why they're coming. Because you have the cartel in Mexico and in South America that don't give a damn about nobody. They will kill women and children. They will put their heads on a stake. Do you hear me? And put it in the center of the town to make sure. You know how back in the day you used to hang the black person so everybody can see it so you don't act up? That's what the cartels are still doing in 2024. So yes, I can agree with y'all about, hey, they coming over, taking our resources, money, da-da-da. But then I'll be like, hell, if you go to Mexico for a year and see what they had to see, you would probably be running out of Mexico too. You know, it's a yin and a yang.
You know, but then in New York, they had them and the migrants, the illegal immigrants, jump on the police officer. Right?
Right.
They arrested them and then they set them free. Now, if it was a black person or a white person or American citizen, they would have offed them. They would still be in jail. You hear what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So they are letting, I mean, it's a lot going on, man.
Mm-hmm.
It ain't, you know.
It is, and that's why I'm glad I'm not a politician. I'm not the president of the United States. I'm not the one that has to make those decisions. But with me, I can see both ends. I can see what everybody is saying. Now, if you're coming over from countries that are doing good, not a third world country, and you sucking up our resources, get your ass out. Go back to where you came from. But these ones that are coming from countries where, you know, the mama just don't know what she's gonna do with these kids, or these kids are gonna literally die if they don't come to America and get some type of help or food, I do have sympathy for you. You know what I'm saying? Because we would do that for our children. If the roles were reversed and the United States was like Mexico and Mexico was like the United States, you know how many people would leave the United States to sneak into Mexico if we had cartels here killing us like it's crazy?
You hear me? I'm gonna get them resources. I'm coming back as an illegal immigrant. I'm gonna go over to Mexico and denounce my citizenship, and I'm coming back over. Como está? Muy bien. Tacos and enchiladas.
When the cameras are showing the people trying to sneak in, and I see these women with all these kids trying to sneak in, and you can tell them kids ain't ate in a while. They dirty. They sick. I'm like. You know, it's called, if you don't have any human feelings, then yeah. But, you know, me, I do. I have a little bit. And it's just hard to see sometimes innocent people have to choose stay in Mexico and get killed or come to America and get killed. You know what I'm saying? That's a hard life.
Well, here's my issue with it, because I feel like America don't even take care of the people that actually fought for the country. How is it that we have military personnel that have gone and sacrificed for us to even be able to live like this, right? And go through hell, only to come back and get treated like a fourth class citizen? No way.
When does that happen? Because when I was 18 years old, all of them came to recruit me. All of them, the Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines. And they told me, when I get out, you're going to have houses, because this guy, this recruiter, he had 2 houses, 5 cars, all this money saved, businesses. And I was like, oh, y'all treat y'all soldiers like this if they survive. But now you're saying what is actually true. And I'm trying to think, well, what happened from the time they recruit you to the time that you get out and you homeless?
It's the government. That's my issue, and I think that's a lot of Americans' issue. We have kids over here that starve. We have people out here that just need help. Instead of taking that money, giving it to other people from other countries, why don't we have facilities that help people with mental issues? We have all these abandoned schools, even in Nashville. Every year it seems like we're closing the school, and it's a nice school. and they don't open it up and turn it into anything that can benefit the community. We giving all this money away and we don't take care. Could you imagine me making money and then I don't even take care of my house? I just go ahead and spend my money and get my money to elsewhere. And my household is struggling. Yeah. My friends, my family, they suffer. And I'm watching them suffer and I'm borrowing money from them and giving it to somebody else.
Yeah, I can see that. So, Damon, when you get paid, right, you have your wife and your 3 kids, right? But what if one of your brothers call you with their wives and 3 kids and need help?
Well, that's family. So,
right, there you go.
If I got anything extra, it will make sense for me to help them than to help somebody I don't know.
Correct. Well, that was going to be my next one. What about your next door neighbor? If your next door neighbor needs help, do you help them?
Well, yeah, but it doesn't come until my household and my close people. You understand? So because I'm going to help the people that I borrow from first.
That's right. So the United States, what they're trying to figure out is, how much money we allocate to help the homeless, and how much money do we allocate to help people overseas? Because if I used to be against the United States policing the world and the UN, but the way these crazy dictators are, if somebody don't put a stop to them, they're coming over here. That's just what it is. If they don't stop it over there, you're going to wake up one day and you're going to see a military tank in your front yard from a foreign country that has tried to come over here and take over the United States. So again, that's why I'm glad I don't make those decisions. I agree with what you're saying. Take care of home first. But let's say,
let me put a perspective. Let me put it to you a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
That would be like, I always come to you, me and you good friends. So I always come to you and I borrow money from you, right? And the money I borrow from you, I'm just taking, and I'm giving everybody else. But then when you need it, I give you like a tenth of what I done borrowed from.
Right.
Are you not going to take offense to that? You need it in a dire way. It would be like the people of Hawaii. When the people in Hawaii, when they lost everything, they gave them $700, right?
Right.
But could you imagine this tax money they done got from them people, and then when I need it, all you got from me is $700?
Yeah. And that's a sad, because that the way, and I know you're not a Democrat, but the way I hear you talking, that's the same way Bernie Sanders was talking. Yes. Take care of home first. Take care of the people here first. And he could never be president of the United States because people didn't want to hear. People did not want to hear what Bernie Sanders was saying. He's saying the same thing you saying. Take care of here first. We got homeless people. We got kids that are starving. We need better education. Quit sending money to Iran, Iraq, whatever. And he could never be president of the United States. So what does that say? That they don't care about America?
I tell you why a lot of people and why even somebody like myself is afraid of Bernie Sanders. Take Venezuela, for example.
Mm-hmm.
Socialism, Venezuela used to be one of the top 4 or 5 richest countries in the world. This was like 60, 70 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
They had one of the top producing oil refineries in the world. They were rich because of their oil. A lot of people don't, if they're not from there, if they don't study world history, they don't know this.
Right.
But Venezuela, once upon a time, was absolutely beautiful. Fast forward, they implemented all these social programs. And my problem with the government is they take money from people and try to fix the problems. And we don't really want, like somebody like me, I don't want the government fixing problems. All I want y'all to do even you potential politicians, future politicians, just stay out the way. That's all we want y'all to do. Stay out the way. Your affairs should be world affairs. It shouldn't be on a local level. Anything you do should not affect me and my household or Sky and his household or anybody's household. But it seems like that's what y'all doing. Like, I give you a social program that people think it help them, but it don't. Welfare. How does welfare help anybody when you tell the women that, yeah, we'll give you housing, we'll give you this, and we'll give you that. But if we come over there and the man, and there's any sign of a man, we taking it away. And you know that kids fare real well in two-parent households. So how is that helping people?
Yeah, to me, that's still a double-edged sword too, because my company, right, we donate to charities all the time, right? So you take somebody like me who not only takes care of my household, but I donate to charities, right? But I don't know, with the government, it's a catch-22 because sometimes they do things right and correct and help those, and sometimes they don't. So I guess it just depends on which part of the story funds your narrative. You know what I'm saying? Because not everybody in the government is bad. Most people that go for government office, they have good intent, right? But the old folks said hell was built with good intentions too. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So I understand. I get it. To me, it's always a catch-22 when you talk about politics and government.
Right. And I will say this. I do think a lot of times it's good intentions behind it. Right? But a lot of times, man, they need to go ahead and revisit certain things and revise them. You know, it's just like
to me to the Constitution. That damn thing is so old. It has no value in 2024. When they wrote the Constitution, they was writing it for white men with money and own land. That was it. They did not write it for immigrants, Hispanics, Latinos, blacks, poor white people. The Constitution wasn't made for that because all back in the day they lived off the land. If you didn't own land, you really didn't have nothing in this world back then.
Right, and I think back then they did write it for themselves.
Yeah.
But what's in there now, if they just simply go by what is written in there, it can be for everybody. And we kind of seeing that now. You know, me and you, we own homes. We're benefiting in ways that our ancestors had.
Right.
Just simply put. Right?
Right.
So if they had implemented the things that they put in there, it would have always worked. The problem was way back, it only benefited certain one of them. It didn't benefit all Americans. So now, fast forward, it's just like the open carry law. You know, or stand your ground law. You can't move the needle on what you think is stand your ground and what you think isn't stand your ground. You understand what I'm saying? Because when that dude Zimmerman got away for what he did to Martin, I can understand the stand your ground, but then the same scenario or story happened to an elderly black man, and he did 20 years. Same situation. You know what I'm saying? So it's really about what is on the books, man, making it equal for all. That's the problem with the old Constitution. It hasn't always been equal to all.
Right.
You know what I mean? But if they applied it to everybody, it's perfectly written.
Right.
Or at least to the best of its ability.
Here's the thing. It's also with the states and the federal government, right? The only reason we have a federal or a central government is because the states were fighting amongst each other. So you had to have that. You had to have that thing to keep the states together, right? So you have some states that say stand your law. You have some states that say open carry. Okay, so if Tennessee does let's just say the states have their way, right? And Tennessee can pass laws without the federal government overseeing. You still gonna have some people that are against it, some people that are for it. And those who are against it, they want to run to the federal government and say, oh, Tennessee is treating us bad. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So it's
we're seeing that right now with abortion.
Yeah, it's always that hamster on the wheel. And that's the problem that we're having. You can't please everybody.
I agree. And you know, I'm going to go a step further. I wish what they would do is dismantle the United States. Let us going back to being states. And then the people
you
in
see
the
that movie
states.
that's about to come out? It's called Civil War.
Oh, no, you got to send me the link to that.
Okay, gotcha. Okay, it got Matt Damon in it. It's called Civil War. It really talks about the states breaking up. It's a movie that's about to come out soon in the theaters. Yeah, I'll send you.
I think it would be best I think that's the best thing that can happen to America. Is the states just break up. You know what I'm saying? That way, if you could go to the state that that have the beliefs that's aligned with your own beliefs.
Right.
If you don't like what's going on here, then instead of fighting, you can just go over to elsewhere.
That's
and then
true.
see how it works out for you.
That is true.
You know, I told somebody this, Sky, and I know people was upset at me because I said this. I said, you know what? I think we were better off segregated. Not by color. I think we'd be better off segregated by ideas.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like if you want your kid to have somebody in drag sit in front of them in the classroom, fine. You could do that in this state. In this state over here, I want my kid to have Christianity in school, to be able to have prayer, pledge allegiance to the flag, or whatever else it is. Over here. You don't have to, you know what I'm saying? Like, we don't have to agree. You can just go your way, and I can just go my way. And I know people say, no, but I don't see us being any more, and we get more and more divided. Most Americans are unhappy. If you look at most Americans, we are super depressed. I'm talking about in totality as a country. And I bet you that people would be more happy if states broke up and then people could take their beliefs and their families and go to whatever state abides by that or has, beliefs in line with your beliefs. People live more happier lives. Well, you would think so. I don't think everybody would. You know what I'm saying? I think some people going to be, depressed or disgruntled regardless. But I think that will work out.
All these new plans we can't predict the future. I just know that the federal government is against it because they feel like the United States of America is more powerful together than it would be in separate states, right?
But
I was
they can get richer.
Yeah, and I was always thinking, first of all, let's take the term America, right? You can go back and find out about who came and discovered the New World, whatever. Who decided that the whole continent had to be? I've never talked to a Latina or a Hispanic that's from Mexico, and they called themselves Americans while they was in Mexico. But yet you in America, right? If you talk to a true Canadian, they're not Americans. They're Canadians. So how is it that Americans from Canada all the way down to South America, aren't we all Americans, right? If the whole continent is America? Or why is it just the states of America Americans?
Man,
I never understood it.
And what's even worse is they got us hating this country. And it just lets you know just how ignorant we are when it comes to world views and world history and what's going on in other places. Because we'll see somebody on the internet to say, you know what? I'm glad I moved here. It was the best decision I ever made. This and this and that. Right? But I guarantee you'll find people in other places like, no, I am happy to be in America. And this is why. You see what I'm saying? So it's funny. Again, I said this on the show before. You got people who die coming here. You'll never hear about nobody who died trying to leave here. You won't. You won't be able to find somebody swimming the Atlantic Ocean, man, trying to get over to Africa, man, through, hurricane waters and shark-infested waters. But you'll see people crossing the Gulf in little cardboard and little rafts. They got a little stick and they land on the stick and they just like this. And they doing what they got to do to float on over here. But you don't see nobody floating away from America. We won't even go and try to rush and bum rush into Canada. Because Canada is probably worse than America.
But yeah, again, when I thought we were all Americans because we're in the continent of America, right?
Right.
So why are we not all Americans? Why are we not all getting along? Why are we not all trading with each other? Why are we not having citizenships for all the borders? But since the beginning of the time, it's always been evil and crooked people. So somebody's benefiting off this division, right? If we don't have war, somebody's going broke. Like if my job is to sell grenades and tanks and guns, and we ain't have no wars, I ain't finna make no money, right?
Right.
So I have to make sure wars are going on somewhere for me to profit, right?
Right.
So this is probably why you'll never get that utopia that we're trying to talk about, is because
Right.
somebody has to profit off of the negative.
Right. Or I think what's going to have to happen too is enough people there's not enough people struggling. That's what it is. Once you have the majority of people really suffering, that's when I think you'll see some things change. But right now, there's a great amount of people that's just getting by, and they're content with just getting by. So they don't care because it's not really affecting them directly. But let inflation keep on doing what it's doing, and you'll see. You'll see.
Yeah, but that's what's going on in the other countries. This is why the United States has.
That's why they're coming here.
Well, I was gonna say this is why the United States has the CIA. That's their job. When they are overseas and there's these poor countries in Africa and in other places of the world that are uplifting and overthrowing governments, then they come back and say, "Hey, the reason they did this because they hungry and did." So So when people are like, "Well, United States need to cut off food stamps," the United States are cutting no food stamps, because if you cut off food stamps and you have 300 million Americans starving, especially kids, then you're gonna see the same thing happen over there.
And
this is why they know
it may not be in our lifetime, but I guarantee you, at the way you think, every year things get more and more expensive.
Yep.
So the cost of living, the wages can't keep up with the cost of living. So what will happen then? If I'm making this amount, but then the cost of living is like this, what's gonna come to shove?
Yeah. Well, a lot of it is business. It's supply and demand. I tell folks, everybody can't, and they thought I was crazy when I said this. Everybody can't work. You have to have unemployment. You cannot have 100%. There's not enough jobs and enough money being printed for everybody to get a check. Everybody can't have a house. If everybody has a house, it would be worthless.
Well,
if everybody has cars, it would be worthless. This is why they do this. When they feel like Americans are catching up, then they go up. It gives you something to work towards for. That's why it's the term work or working. Gives you something to work towards. If every American is fat and happy and rich, you have no economy. The economy will sink because nobody's gonna get them to go to work. Right? So that's what it is. I knew that a long time ago that they come on TV talking about small business. They don't give a damn about small business. Have you seen the new rule about small businesses now? If you create a small business, you have to now fill out a form telling the government who you are and where your business is, because if you don't, they're going to fine you $500 a day. It's called the fin something, FINC. The fin. I'll have to send you the link. But yeah, so if you created a business before 2024, you have to 2025 to fill out this paperwork. If you created a business tomorrow, we have 90 days to fill out that form to tell who you are, who I am, address, all that stuff about the transparency of our company, or they're going to fine us up to $500 a day or throw us in jail.
Wow.
They don't care. If you have too many small businesses succeeding, you don't have enough workers. And people don't understand that. It's all about land and workers. That's it. You have to have soldiers and workers and employees. Everybody can't be employers. Everybody can't be rich, or you don't have an economy. So it's going to happen. So eventually people will get fed up. And do you think they'll march against the United States or march to Washington, D.C.? I don't know.
Trump it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, Trump said something a couple of years ago, and he had a couple of thousand people storm in January 6th. You know what I'm saying? So if he's powerful to do that, imagine if he took his millions of dollars, went overseas to our enemies, or he took his millions of dollars and bought him an island and raised the army to come back over here. This is why the United States government, the IRS, is so on rich people. The Tyler Perrys, the Oprah Winfrey's, the Donald Trump, because they got so much money and influence. Those are the ones that can get people to get up and overthrow this government.
You know what scared them? You know why January 6th is such a big topic amongst politicians? That scared them. Because I believe that never in their minds did they ever believe that citizens would turn on it. And now they see that is a possibility. Could you imagine if you took the number that stormed the White House or whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
Could you imagine if you multiplied that by 100?
Man.
We don't have a military big enough to stop that.
Well, have you seen Hunger Games? They would just kill people. They would just drop bombs. Like they doing now in other countries. They'll just start dropping bombs on people, killing them by the hundreds of thousands.
But you know, the sad part of it is, though, man, if you look at it right now, the real sad part of it is that the way that you could take down a country is already taking place.
Yeah.
You got people coming in and you don't know who's in. You got another country buying land, owning massive amount of farmland. It's already checkmate. You know what I'm saying? So how do you beat a country that has a gigantic army? You don't do it with another gigantic army. You would do it by changing the way they think, changing them internally. And it's taking place now. The things that we concerned with and we, that we worried about, man, it got us distracted. We so distracted, you know what I'm saying? You take China, for example. See what their kids are learning compared to what our kids are learning.
Compared to what our kids are learning. You're right about that.
They're teaching us by great majority to even hate the country. So who wants to defend it? Who wants to defend something that they don't like or they think is against them anyway? So it's already taking place. It's already game over. It just hasn't come full-fledged, and it's an inside job. How you do it is the way it's going now. You let all these people in, they don't know who here from where. Their thought processes are they're from, Venezuela or El Salvador or Mexico or Colombia. What about people coming from Saudi Arabia or these other countries over in the Middle East that's coming through South America or some of them countries that come in here? That's on terrorist lists. You understand what I'm saying? So it's already checkmate.
Oh yeah, there's a loophole. There's a loophole in everything. And the one thing with the American government and the UN, they're saying that you can only go to war with other, like the United States can't go to. The United States has to go to war with other governments. So they can go to war against Saudi Arabia and their government, North Korea and their government, but the United States government can't go to war with Crips and Bloods because they're not a sovereign or a government, right? So these people that you're saying sneaking in, if they're not a sovereign government, the government, our government can't go to war with them.
It's an invisible enemy.
Building up strategies, how they gonna do this, how they gonna do that. You're right, because Rome, that's how Rome was taken down. Rome was taken down from inside.
Yeah,
Rome collapsed from inside.
And that's how America is. Because you really think about it. I don't have to, if I'm from China, if I wanted to take down America, and I know America got nukes and America got this and that, and military-wise, I don't want to challenge them because, that's a big loss I can take. So you know what I would do and what they're doing right now?
What's that? They
got people coming over here. A lot of them are scientists. A lot of them work in agriculture. So if you want to get them, become a farmer. Buy farmland. Make them get food from it. Take things that they are dependent on surviving on.
Oh yeah.
It's the same way our government doing the same to us. If our government want to keep us in slavery, the best way to keep the American citizens in slavery, you do what the slave owners did. You make them dependent on you.
Make them dependent. That's absolutely right.
You make them depend on you for housing. You make them depend on you for child care. You make them depend on you for food. That's how you enslave them. They don't know they're slaves, but they're slaves. So when Kanye made that statement when he was talking about, slavery is a choice, he's right. Because you choose if you're going to have kids that you can't afford. That's a choice you made. Now you got to choose that if you're going to struggle or if you're going to get help from the government. That's still a choice. It's not a good choice, but it's still a choice. So when you really think about it, you know what I'm saying? The way you want to do something is you make people dependent on it. You do an inside job. And that's what other countries are doing. They letting all these people in. These people are going to be in places. They're going to become politicians. Throw ideas out there that to us is bizarre. You understand what OAC.
Yep, you're right.
Go listen to her. Her ideas, the ideas and the way and the things she talk about is not that of the typical American citizen. If you listen to her, you'd be like, man, this lady nuts. And she beautiful. That's the scary part. Because she beautiful, but she nuts. And the beautiful crazy lady is the worst. Fellas, we know. You get a beautiful nut job, man. It's a lot of dudes, man. Like we men, we know.
And I used to tell my peoples that, folks be like, well, they taking American votes for, they don't care about them no more. I was like, well, instead of using your votes, why don't you run for office? Because if that's the case, if we have more minorities and blacks running for office, we could might make some changes. But you can't sit in the projects and be upset because they cut your food stamps, especially in this state. Your tin can don't go as far as it wants to. Well, what are you doing? You ain't voting and you ain't running for office. So you can't do nothing sitting in your chair watching Days of Our Lives every damn day. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I believe that that's one way, if I could talk to the masses, that's one way of us trying to get some change going. And we either need the votes, I don't care if you believe in voting or not, or you need to run for some type of office that's going to either help us or block some of this stuff that they're trying to do that's going to hurt us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because white folks want this country because they know they are the minorities around the world. They really are. When you talk about a purebred white man is a minority, not a white German, not a white Russian, not a white Italian.
They're not having babies the way that they used to.
Yeah, they are the minorities. And if they procreate with any other nationality, that baby's going to look like whatever that nationality is. They don't look like white folks. So this is the only country that they can preserve, and they're going to fight to preserve it. And as long as they know that they feel like certain blacks and niggas don't want anything out of life but a bunch of rap money and jewelry and hoes, then that's what they're going to give you. Because they don't care about that. While you sitting here listening to this music, they making laws to make sure that you stay in your place. They still making slavery laws. It just ain't called slavery no more.
Right.
And ain't nothing you can do about it once it's passed. Now you upset, but what was you doing?
Right.
You was at this rap concert while they're in the middle of the night passing bills to stop you from doing whatever it is you got to do.
Right. Speaking of, man, we gonna go ahead. There's a story I want y'all to listen to, right? So another topic that we gonna talk about. Imagine you was dating this female, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then the female you dating her for about 6-8 months. Mm-hmm. And then you run into your cousin, maybe it's a cousin that you hadn't seen in a while, and he meets you and your old lady, and come to find out he used to date her. Okay. What would you do if you found out your cousin used to date the woman that you with?
We're going to be dating for 6 or 7 months?
Yes. And she didn't even tell. She didn't even tell.
Well, she might not have known.
Right.
Yeah. So I would probably walk away. Me, myself, personally.
I think this one may have known, Sky.
If it's been 2-3 years or we married or we got kids, oh, well, stuff happens, whatever. But 6 or 7 months, I'm like, oh, well, you know what? That's okay. I was somewhere else.
Oh, well, I'm about to play this clip, y'all. I want y'all to hear this stuff.
Okay.
I was like, this is crazy. Hold on. Let me start it right quick.
It's going to go straight down.
So you gonna tell me you dated my cousin?
I didn't think that I had to.
So you don't think you should have ran out the crossing?
No, like I thought you wasn't concerned about my past.
That's different. That's my whole cousin.
Okay, he's just
Also, she knew.
Having me cousins, like I was supposed to have known.
So you just don't care. That's you know, they.
I really don't, and I don't think that you should either. Like, why is that up for discussion?
I mean, because I'm here, I gotta walk around with you, knowing that in the back of my mind that you done dated this man.
Okay, where did you get that from?
He done told.
Okay, and I'm pretty sure he told you some good things.
Yeah, he told me some good things.
Okay, so is there a reason why you feel like you need to confront me about this when it should matter?
I feel like you should have told me this already.
Okay, well, I'm telling you now. Then yes, I dated your cousin, but that was like 4 years ago, which still shouldn't even matter, to be honest.
I feel like it mattered.
Okay, so what are you gonna do about it?
I gotta take some time to myself because you done lied to me.
I lied to you? I just never told you about it.
That's still a lie.
So did you get that?
So she knew. So she
Yeah,
knew.
that's what I'm saying. She knew.
No, that she dated my cousin. She dated my cousin.
And you
So
know
she
what,
knew.
I hate to say it, but I'm siding with her. He just sounds insecure because somebody, unless you date a virgin, and most virgins are 14 and 15 years old, there's always gonna be somebody who's had sex with your woman before you got to her. I mean, come on now, let's be realistic. How old are they? Are they in their 20s?
They're in their 20s.
Oh,
And let me say this.
So even if it wasn't your cousin, she done had sex with somebody before she met you.
I think if it was somebody else,
You know,
because that, nowadays these girls losing their virginity at 13 and 14.
yeah. Come on, man.
Let's be honest, right?
Yeah.
But man, when you talk about my cousin, like my cousin then slimed it, he didn't do that, man. Nah, man.
Well, depending on your cousin, is your cousin one of those guys that's just sleeping with any and everybody? Then I'm like,
man,
no.
Hell, all my cousins.
Yeah, but if it's a cousin where me and him, we don't really talk, I ain't seen him in years. If I really like you, I might let it go. But in my opinion, I would be like, you know what? If he's a close cousin or if he's a whore, you got to go. Sorry. Yeah.
Because he had to be a close cousin for it to be the cousin that actually told him. You know what I'm saying?
Got you. Okay, yeah.
For it to be the cousin that actually told it, it has to be, you know what I'm saying, like somebody that he's close to. So I couldn't imagine, man, because I know my cousins, and let me tell you, the cousins I'm close with, way back when we were young, we used to talk. You know, men, especially, we would talk. So whatever happened with a girl, we would tell her. We'd tell each other. You know what I'm saying? Now, if she was a really, really special female, nah. You know what I mean? But if she was just a random, we tell it.
Yeah. But I mean, I just hate the way it made it sound, the way he made himself sound, because she's right. It's in the past. It's old news. Why are you worried about who I've been sleeping with? This, that, and the third. Why are you all in your feelings? Because again, if it wasn't your cousin, it would have been somebody else. To me, it's just the way he was coming out, as if he was just all in his feelings and, well, it's my cousin, and I want to take you to family functions, and walking around knowing he didn't hit it. Well, somebody didn't hit it. You know what I'm saying? You gonna walk this girl around, and somebody in the neighborhood that already hit it. You just didn't know, but for you found out it was your cousin.
Right.
And she done slept with more people than just your cousin. Now, let's be realistic. It's just one of the people she done slept with before she got to you was your cousin.
I wonder if she would have felt the same way if the shoe was on the other foot, but it was her sister. And it was in a scenario where her sister was dating a guy and didn't want to introduce him to the family because the sister was like, well, I want to make sure this is serious before I introduce him, right? A half-sister, for example. Maybe they got different daddies. They got the same daddy, different moms. So they didn't grow up in the same household, right? So I wonder if she would have had the same energy had that been a half-sibling of hers. To come to find out, he was messing with her, and then he met the sister along the line. It got serious, and now he's with her.
I know some women that would. They would. It depending on the guy. If the guy's a good provider, and doing the things that he's supposed to do, yeah, damn that they would stay. I know, I've seen it. I have seen it. Yeah. So some would. I don't know if the majority would, but I've seen some that be like, that's in your past. I can care less. You dated her, whatever. She's a stepsister, whatever. I've seen it with cousins, sisters, mamas. I mean, I come out of a neighborhood where people just didn't give a damn. And you had to ask folks. I don't know about you, Damo, but the neighborhood I came out, you had to ask folks, who are you related to? Who's your mama? Who's your daddy? Because the daddies would have a whole nother family just across town. And a lot of y'all wouldn't.
You are getting into a conversation that I just had with somebody. I was telling somebody that I think that when you grow up, after so many generations, there has to be a lot of the family members in that generation that move elsewhere. Because if not, somebody then slept with or going to sleep with either a half sibling or a cousin, because it's hard to keep up. You understand what I'm saying?
That's right.
And so if you got generations on top of generations that's staying in one particular city and everybody's producing, you can't keep up with everybody's kids. You can't keep up with each and every cousin. That's why they had them family reunions. But the problem with them family reunions is that everybody don't show up to them.
That's absolutely correct.
But have you ever been to a family reunion and be like, oh snap, I'm related to you?
Yep, sure have.
Or you know a girl that you probably was attracted to and come to find out that's your cousin through this person, that person, and that person, and you like, damn, that was close.
I've been to somebody else's family reunion like that. Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Hell yeah.
Absolutely correct.
Shit, man. That's why they make people take them blood tests.
Yeah. And rule of thumb was, back then when I was coming up, rule of thumb was, if the husband or the boyfriend was gonna cheat, do it somewhere in another state or something. But these men were so lazy that I would live in South Nashville. They would go cheat with a woman in North Nashville, right? So when it comes to preschool, elementary, middle school, you have those in those neighborhoods. But high schools are few and in between. So somebody from North Nashville and South Nashville could go to the same high school, depending on what the lines were drawn. Then you in there with your stepsister, stepbrother, and you have absolutely no clue, because the daddy's dead now. So he'd had two different families. So now you in there going to the prom with this girl, you done slept with her and had a chat.
Man,
I'm telling you, boy.
And then you wonder why he did slobbering and shit. You ain't even know, man. You ain't even know that was your sister.
You know have no clue, cousin.
You ain't have no clue. And that's why I think you should not eat and shit in the same spot. You need to go ahead and go elsewhere. I think it's crazy, man, that people be doing that, and they don't even think of it like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know your daddy a hoe. If you know your daddy a hoe, right? He got, man, we seen it. Men that got kids with 4 or 5 different women. You know, them women aren't smart enough to get along with each other enough to say, we got to make sure our kids don't be with each other like that, right?
Right.
You know, y'all don't get to knowing who's who until after the fact. You know what I'm saying? Your kids don't even know or find out that this person is that to them or that to them, or, you know what I'm saying, connected to them in this way until after they done slept. Because how many people getting to know each other before they sleep with somebody?
Times have changed, right? So before my generation, people would eat dinner every night and they would talk, hey, how was your day? How's it going? Well, Mom, I met this guy at school. I really like him. Well, bring him over before you start dating him so we can have dinner with him. Now these teenagers are so rebellious that they will date and talk and sleep with people, and the only time they come to their parents is if they catch an STD or get pregnant. Like, the parents have no clue what their children are out here doing, because like you say, you have single parent households, or if you do have both parents, both of them working 2 jobs because they can't afford the mortgage. So you don't have family dinners no more where people sit every night, not just Thanksgiving, but every night and talk and get to know what's going on.
Yeah, because you know, in the conversation,
like you said, you got a family reunion and here she come with 2 kids. They're like, Dad, that's your cousin. Too late now.
Yeah, and man, and you can't even change that. Like, that's a bad thing. And you know, like you were saying, you used to sit at the dinner table. Well, baby, who is your parents? Who is your mom? The parents would ask that question.
Yep.
Now, these kids hooking up so fast that by the time they like the person, they done slept with them multiple times. And then when they finally do meet, well, baby, who's your mama? Who's your daddy? Oh, that's my first cousin on my great aunt side. Or, you know, by then it's too late.
Too late.
You know, I had a cousin that he went to middle school and he seen this girl and he was cute. You know, he thought she was cute, whatnot. Got a picture of her. Took the picture, brought it home, shared it, you know, with my grandmother. And then my grandmother was like, boy, you know, that's your cousin, right? Called her daddy. And you know, they didn't do anything because it was like kind of in that first week.
In that first week.
But you know how close that could have been?
It's 19 to 20.
That would have happened if he was in high school. Because in middle school, you know, we didn't have that kind of leeway to go out and about like that, to meet up with women. But in high school, we did. So had he met her in high school, that would have happened.
You're right. You're absolutely correct. You're right. That's right. And that's the sad part about it. And it's just going to get worse and worse because, again, nobody's caring. Nobody's using condoms. People are sleeping with any and everybody. So you don't know who that's why you have to have family reunions again. I'm with you with that. That's some scary stuff like that. And then especially if you have the same last names, people are like, oh, you related to? I'm like, no,
I'm you not. Imagine being the Smith?
Smith
or a Thomas or somebody that got a name like that? I mean, you know how many of those there are?
Yeah. So I would have to come home and be like, hey, do we know this person named such and such and such? You know what I'm saying? But now they don't. They don't care. The relationship between child and parent is so estranged now that they don't talk to their parents about nothing no more. They will go online to get information.
We don't even talk in the community anymore. Let
me tell you about me. My mama, she used to work at St. Thomas Hospital and Vanderbilt, right? Anytime I needed any information about anything medical, I would go to my mama and say, hey, mom, this, that, and the third, right? Now these kids ain't got to. They got their phones. They got WebMD. They got online. They don't need their parents anymore. And that's the problem. Right. From there, you're learning about medical. You're learning about sex. You're learning about all this stuff outside of your parents. That's what the parents are for, to teach you these things. So now you think you've grown because you know more than your parents do, which is how generations work. Then you out here doing grown folks things, and then when it comes back to bite you in the grown folk behind, then that's when you run to the parents.
Man, let me tell y'all something. And what you're speaking on, Sky, it goes even beyond the children. This next story, I'm about to break this down, and then I'm going to play it because I want y'all to hear it from this chick's mouth. But I'm going to try to summarize this as quickly as possible. So there's this woman that married this man. The man supposedly is in the military or whatever. He's overseas most of the time. She maybe only see him 3 times out of the year, right? So she done went and had 3 kids with this man. And of course, after some time, you're going to get lonely. And so a guy she worked with, she hooked up with. All right, got sexually involved, and then when you get sexually involved and you get to being lonely, and she didn't have no care for this man or not like this, but she just hook up with a man for to satisfy that appetite. Well, your hotel and motel can get expensive, so she had kids. She couldn't bring him to her house because of the kids. So she would go to his house because he didn't have kids. Well, one day she's at his house and she see a wall full of pictures, right? And on this wall full of pictures, she see her husband's picture. And she like, holy shit, what is his picture doing in his house? Now, mind you, at this point, this woman recently had found out that she was pregnant by this dude. And she knows she in the world of shit because her husband has been gone. So now she really ain't told the dude that she pregnant by him. She ain't told her husband because now she got to figure out how to explain to her husband how she got pregnant and how she got pregnant and her husband been overseas. So she got that on her mind, right? She's sitting up looking at these pictures. She can't just ask him directly, you know what I'm saying? Because then bells will start going off. So the way she did it was, she started at one end of the wall asking, well, who is she? Who is she? Who is that? Who are they? Who is he? And when she get all the way down, finally down the wall, she looked at the husband, her husband, knowingly who he was, and was like, well, how do you know him? Who is he? Oh, that's my brother. Yeah, that's my brother. Yeah, he live overseas and stuff. He got a wife over there, and here's his wife and 2 kids. She like, he got a wife and 2 kids? No, we got 3 kids. He's showing her the picture. It's in one of them Asian countries like the Philippines or Thailand or something like that, right? And she's seeing this woman, her husband with a whole nother woman and kids of a whole that look just like her kids, right? So now, here it is. She done got pregnant by her husband's brother, who is married to another woman and got a whole new set of family. And now she don't know what to do.
At that time, I would just, hey, when you come home, we need to talk. I'm gonna bring the brother. Hey, come over my house. You need to meet your nieces and nephews. And when he gets home, like, look, I know about you and your family and your others. I know about your brother, but you need to know that I'm pregnant by your brother. You might as well just get it all out in the open, hell, because I believe whoever this woman is, she's not for having no abortion. So when the baby's born,
no.
It's going to be a huge chaos. So I'd rather just go ahead and get the chaos over with now than to wait till after I'm in the hospital having this baby and my husband's like, who you been sleeping with? And then she finally has to tell him, your brother, but your brother also told me that you had a family overseas. You see what I'm saying? I would just get it on out the way. There's no sense. The bomb is going to explode. Do you want to explode now? You want to explode later. That's it.
Man. So, and let me see if I can find this. This video is on here. I just want y'all to, actually, while I'm looking for it, here's another question. Here's another topic. Because I was listening to this dude talk, and he made an interesting point. Nowadays, it seems like in order for you to get the majority of women's time, you have to pay for it. Right? So, the question is dating nowadays, is it tricking? Is dating nowadays tricking? Because it almost seemed like in order for you, I ain't saying all, but by great majority, to deal with a female, you have to spend some money. So it's and it never used to be like that. So is it really tricking?
I mean, I heard a comedian say, and then I also heard Gilbert Arenas say the same thing. I'm just cutting out the middleman. Damn the flowers for Valentine's Day, Mother's Day, all of those anniversary. I know what I want. You know what you want. I'm going to get what I want. And then on the way out the door, you take the $450. You know what I'm saying? So regardless if you pay $450 for the coochie or you spend 6 months to a year romancing her for the coochie, money is being spent in time, gas, food. You might have helped her with some bills. You might have helped her other kids with stuff. So yeah, money is always being spent. So it just depends on how you look at it. Because to me, Valentine's Day is tricky, right? To
it
me,
sure is. Valentine's Day and Sweetest Day is tricking.
You know, hey, if I had 5 girls that I've been sleeping with all year, Valentine's Day is like tax day for me, right? That means that every girl that I've claimed the year before is going to get a Valentine's Day gift. So
a card, flower, or something.
yeah. So either way you look at it, unless you just find a girl who's just sleeping with you and then she gets to leave and you spend no money, kudos to you if you find that. But most of us, we've spent money somewhere down the line.
Yeah, it is tricking.
Yeah,
I agree, man. Because I think if it's not, then you should be able to hang out with them and enjoy their company without spending a dime. And I ain't talking about one time. I'm talking about multiple times. Because I think when that happens, then if you somewhere out and they ain't got no money and you pay for everything, then it's different than in a scenario where it's like, well, you know what? You can take me on a date if you're taking me to a 5-star restaurant. That means he's paying for your time. That's no different to me than a prostitute. Because people think, when they think of prostitution, they always think of physical intimacy. They don't never think about the men that pay these women just to have a conversation with them. Which is the same thing. Just one, you're just getting a physical need met. The other one, you're getting a mental need met, a social need met.
That's right.
Any way you want to cut it, any way you slice it, you're getting need that's met.
So if it's just a tier of prostitution or tricking, then whoever you're with at the time, or whoever your wife is, or who is the top girl, she gets the 5-star restaurant because she's in the game. The rest of y'all on the bench. So y'all go to Taco Bell. You're on the bench until the starter's gone and you become the starter, then you get the 5-star restaurant. But the rest of y'all just on the bench. So y'all get Taco Bell and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
They don't even get that. Hell, you don't know if he had to shovel doo-doo to get that money. To get that check. Hell, you know what I'm saying? Right. It's still tricking. Hell, it's a transaction. He's paying. The only thing he's not paying you in money, he's paying you in Taco Bell to get your time.
Taco Bell. That's right. That's right. That is some form of currency. Food is currency. That's absolutely right. That's why they don't call it money no more. They call it currency. It's the flow of everything.
Yep.
So instead of me giving you $3, I took you to Taco Bell and paid $3.25 because I got to get Uncle Sam a text for those 3 burritos you ate. You know what I'm saying? But
right. And here this lady. This is this story, man. I'm gonna play this for y'all right quick. I was like, hell nah, man. These folks is nuts out here. Hold on, I'm gonna blow it up. Let me open this screen up, y'all. All right, there we go. Let me get the volume. Let me go ahead and rewind it all the way back. Let me turn up our stripper music.
I've been married for 8 years. I have 3. My husband is now overseas. He's been over there for about 2 years. When he do come home, he probably come home 3 times out of the year. He stay home for maybe 2 to 3 weeks at a time. All right, cool. I've been lonely. So I end up cheating on my husband. Yes, I cheated on him. He don't know that I cheated on him. After this video, he gonna know, and I'm in some deep. But it gets worse than that. It gets worse than the cheating. All right, so I ended up going to the bar one night and ended up having a one-night stand with this guy, and it was amazing. So that one-night stand turned into almost an every night stand. But it was just like this relationship. I didn't even really care to even really get to know the man. It was just I'm married, so it was just whatever my husband couldn't do for me at the time. I was messing with this guy, this young fella, and he fine too. But yeah, I'm messing with this fella. All right, cool. So, we've been messing around for maybe 2 years now or whatever. And I'm just now, we used to, when we met up, we just get a room. But now it's like, okay, I can come to your house. You can't come to my house because my kids is at the house, but now I'm going to his house. All right, cool. So, long story short, today, I found out I'm pregnant. I am pregnant. My husband is overseas. So there's no way it could be my husband, baby. It gotta be this man, baby. I haven't even told him yet. All right? So yesterday, I go to his house. And I see this wall, and they got the pictures, like the picture collage and stuff. And I'm just now paying attention to it. So I'm looking at the pictures and I'm just like, oh, okay. You know, he doesn't have any kids. So I'm just looking at the pictures and just looking. And then I see a picture of my husband on the wall. So I'm just like, the whole time I'm over there, I'm just sitting there like trying to think like, how am I gonna ask him, how do you know that God is on your wall? So I'm just, I done bit off all my nails. You know, like I got one more thumb left. I got the thumb left because I'm over there nervous. I'm just biting my nails, just trying to figure out how am I gonna ask him, how do you know this particular man in this picture? So I'm like, if you know him, then you know he got a wife. So I'm like, was this a setup? Like, cause I just don't know. So I just after I ate off all my fingernails and we done watch movie, everything. Like I finally asked. So I go back over to the wall. So now I'm just all right, cool. You just gotta start asking questions like, well, who is this lady? Who is this person? Who is this? So I'm like, who this? He like, that's my mama. Who this your daddy? All right, cool. Now this right here, I ain't saying it like that, but you get down to right here. How do you know him? Who's that? He said, that's my brother. And I'm like, we've been married for 8 years. I ain't never know him to have a brother. So I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, on your daddy's side. So he's like, yeah, on my dad's side. All right, now cool. That's some clarity right there because my husband and daddy died way before me and him even met. He said he had some siblings on his daddy's side, but he don't really know like I got some siblings on my daddy's side. I got a whole bunch, I think 7 of them. I don't really know them like that. Like I know them, but I don't really know them like that. So it could, yeah. So my husband ain't really like talk about him like that. They cool or whatever, but he ain't never like, he wasn't never at none of the family functions and nothing like that. That's his daddy's side, Some of y'all might not know, but some of y'all that have siblings, y'all know. And I'm gonna talk about. So yeah, so he's like, that's my brother on my daddy's side and all this stuff. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So he's telling me like, they actually really close. But I ain't never seen it. But I'm just like, okay, is he married? He like, yeah, he married. And I'm just like, oh, okay. So I'm like, so do you know his wife? He like, nah, I ain't never met her. She live overseas with him. So I'm like, no, I'm not. In my head, I'm just like, oh yeah. He like, yeah, they got 2 kids in Germany. And I'm just like, well, I got 3 in my head. So I'm just like, oh yeah. He like, yeah. I talk to him, very frequently. I'm just like, oh, okay. Word. He like, yeah. So I'm like, maybe that ain't him. Maybe it ain't. I'm like, maybe it ain't him. Because I got 3 kids and I live in the United States of America. So I'm just like, okay. So then on the collage, he starts showing me pictures of the pictures I did not see yet, but he's showing me pictures of my husband with his wife. Now, mind you, I'm the wife. So he showed me pictures of my husband with another woman. So I'm just like, and their kids. So I'm like, oh, this is crazy. So, but the crazy thing is, he got 2 boys by this other lady. Well, from what I'm seeing, he got pictures of the kids up here. These 2 boys look identical to my kids. Like, they look the same.
He has strong genes.
Yo, then he's showing me, now mind you, I have 3 by my husband. I got 2 boys and a girl. So they got 2 boys. So I'm looking at the rest of the pictures. I see a picture of my 2 sons, like my kids. And I'm like, so I'm just playing it dumb, like, oh yeah, because I'm in a situation right now. And this is his brother, and I don't know what to do. So, all right, long story short, I never even told him, that was yesterday. I never even told him nothing about the man and my husband and nothing, his brother. But what do I do? Like, I'm pregnant husband's brother. What do I do? What do I do? What do I do?
Hey guys, what's up, beautiful people? It's again official.
I'll tell you what,
This
man.
like some lifetime movie. This not sound so real. We can't believe this. Me think that this a make up story. No, it ain't. Too much coincidence in this story. Like, what are the?
All right.
Like any good politician or PR. Did you ever talk back to Latanya Kelly, Damo?
Huh?
Did you ever talk back to Latanya Kelly?
What do you mean?
Did you ever talk back to her just in general?
Oh, no,
The publicist lady. Okay.
No,
So that's what I'm saying. Just like any good publicist, you got to get ahead of the story. You can't let the story get ahead of you. So once you found this out, I would have told him right then. I would have called my husband, and I would have been the first to get the story out than to wait for the story to come out on me. Because by the time you let it come out on you, so many different versions are going to come out.
It's
It'll be all over the damn
yep.
place.
Yep. You're not lying.
And that's what politicians and people do. They have to get ahead of the story.
And it goes back. We was talking about this some weeks ago. And this is the dangerous part about when women cheat, right? Mm-hmm. It's dangerous when men cheat, but it's even more dangerous when women cheat because they not require dudes to put on condoms. I was just having this conversation the other day. A lot of females don't carry, ladies, be real with yourself. Do you carry condoms? Because I can tell you, I got a whole bunch of associates that I know they don't carry condoms. And if they were in a situation where they could get some yap that they ain't had, they gonna get it. They gonna get it. You know what I'm saying? And I know a lot of y'all is not requiring dudes to put on condoms, man. And that's the scary part. Because y'all just let anybody nutting y'all, man.
That is scary.
Y'all let them come in there and spray up the joint.
But I'm glad you played the video because what the scary part is that she ain't the only one. So again, I told you I used to have friends back in the 90s that would go to Clarksville to the up there by the base. It was a club up there, a couple of them by the base. And when the husbands would go off of furlough and go back to overseas, they'd be able to sleep with the wives. I had one guy, he broke his leg. He was a bigger guy. He was like 6'6", almost 300 pounds in the girl's house, in the wife's house. And the husband came home early. They upstairs. The husband came home. He's in the house. You heard him come through the door and everything. He couldn't go downstairs, so he had to open up that window and jump out. And to this day, he's had that limp because of that. And I told him, you stupid.
Wow.
You want to be doing it. But to the Christian women in the world whose husbands are overseas for years and years and years, this is just letting me know that this is happening more times than none. Because I thought of a Christian woman, if your husband is gone, instead of cheating, you just go get you a sex toy or whatever. But this is going to show you how sex is so addictive, like drugs, that
it's like
even the most Christian woman will go out and cheat on her husband if she think he won't find out. Yep. And the damn man is probably overseas cheating. You know how many soldiers that came back and told me how much sex they've gotten for a bucket of chicken in Vietnam and Korea? For a bucket of KFC chicken. One dude told me he was in his bunker asleep and he woke up and one of the prostitutes was giving him head while he was asleep. That's what woke him up.
Yeah. Because again, our money over in some of these countries is 10, 20 times the amount. Here's what I suggest, and this is to my American men, right? I got a project I want y'all to do. I want y'all to take the American dollar and compare it to all rupees, pesos, anything, all currency in other countries, and it's going to blow your mind. It's going to blow your mind. You'll wonder why everyday jokers like us, we'll go to a country and they'll treat us like celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they will literally treat us like celebrities.
Mm-hmm.
They will worship the ground you walk on. Mm-hmm. Now, you got to be careful, too, because your ass could end up kidnapped. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, you got haters
And
over
you-
there too. Yep.
Yeah, but if you play your cards right, you could go elsewhere and live like a king. You hear me? I'm just telling you.
Yeah, and you're right about it. But again, it's this earth, man. It's the devil's playground, and
Woo.
some of y'all are just rolling the dice on the wrong thing. Because I don't gamble. I play bingo, but I don't gamble, right? But I would never gamble my life on sleeping with a military person's wife. That's first of all, I would never do that, especially if he's been there for a while, because he might be a trained sniper. So he might not take my ass out 1,000 feet away, and I never see it coming, right?
Right.
I don't know what that lady's going to do, because if it was just that serious, you should have had that conversation with your husband. But it needed to happen because now you found out your husband been cheating on you.
Yep.
So who's gonna be? So Damo, in this situation, who's mad at who? Am I mad because
Man,
my
I don't
sister
think any of
slept
them-
with my brother, or is she gonna be mad at me because I've been having a whole nother family that she has nothing to know about?
I think the only one that can be mad about it, is the brother that she's sleeping with.
Right.
Not the one she's married to.
Right.
He don't have no stake in it because he got a whole nother family in Germany and kids and all. So he don't really have no stake in it. The brother she's sleeping with that she cheated on him with, that's the brother that has the right to be angry. And he can only be angry at her. No, he can be angry at the brother too. Because if the brother didn't go out and have two families like that, then guess what? He wouldn't be in that situation.
This is why it's so hard to commit a crime or to cheat, because you don't know who. You don't know who, or who have seen who's hiding where. You have no clue who's doing what. And out of all the people in the world, unless the two brothers look alike, then she has a type. And that's why she was with the brother. I don't know if it was conversation, looks, I don't know what it is. But if they're not twins, that means that girl has a type. And both of the brothers was the same type in some form or fashion.
Well, they come from
And then she
different
ended up with
daddies,
him. And come to find out that was the brother. Good
I mean,
brother.
they come from, they got the same dad, different moms.
Yeah.
And they dad, and and that caught my ear the second time. She said the father had passed.
Right.
And so, when you got women with different kids, we were just talking about that. How the women don't interact with each other. And so it's a lot of unanswered questions and a lot to unpack.
And you know what? And that's if they know about each other. If they know about each other, they should interact. But a lot of them, man, in those 70s and 80s and early 90s, they didn't know. They didn't know about each other at all.
Right. So they brother cousins. A lot of these folks out here, brother cousins.
That's why they talk bad about the South and inbreeding.
Well, it's the North too. The North is just as bad, man. Let me tell you. For somebody to come from the North, don't let them downplay y'all and downplay the South. It's just some ignorant fools. They do the same shit up north. Matter of fact, let me one up. Even worse, because the girls down south aren't bad. You know what I'm saying? They may do things that they ain't bad. Up north, there's some real life whores up north. I know. You know what I'm saying? Because I come from the north. There's some real life whores. And I got stories to tell y'all. One day, we gonna sit on here on the show and we gonna be trading stories. But I'm telling y'all, man, they is worse up north. They 10 times worse. I'm telling you. They some real life whores up north. So don't let them men shame y'all down in the South. Them some real life. Look, let me tell you. I know two sisters and these black women that they are sisters and they pregnant by the same man. So now their kids are siblings and cousins.
Yeah, I know folks like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. I know a woman that didn't know who the daddy was and named the child after both men. She gave the son half of one man's name, half of the other man's name and combine.
Mhm.
So don't let them just tell y'all this is a Southern thing. No, the North and the West too got some real live war.
Yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. You's absolutely correct on all that. It's just, she could. I don't know. It's a catch-22. But if she didn't know, let's just say she would have never found out the husband had kids overseas, because you don't know what you don't know. She's still in the wrong for even doing that, even though he's in the wrong. But we don't know he's in the wrong yet.
Man, she
Two
couldn't got
wrongs
no
don't make a
video
right.
from her husband.
To me, she would have finally figured it out maybe years and years later that he had another family, but because she did wrong, she found out much sooner. So I don't even know how to even debate or talk about that. That's one of those anomalies that, like, I don't know.
Could you imagine if that picture wasn't up there?
Yeah.
And she didn't know?
Yeah.
And then she come home and the husband came home and then she just felt like she had to tell him. And then the husband was like, well, who is the guy? And then come to find out it's his brother.
That he ain't talked to in years.
Now finding out, and all three of them just now finding out. Because the brother didn't know about her.
No, he didn't.
The brother knew about the other wife in Germany, but he didn't know about her.
That's right.
But they all would have found out. Could you imagine the chaos?
Yeah. So he's the innocent one out of all of them. He's single. He went to the club looking for a woman as a single man. She did all the deceiving and lying. I mean, well, she said she had kids. That's why he couldn't go over there.
Right.
So he probably knew she was married then. How about that? He probably knew it.
He knew she was with somebody.
Yeah, he knew. Okay, yeah. So well, he ain't innocent neither. Shit, never mind.
Yeah, he you know.
They all
at some point, you know. And so, and again, it was just sexual. So he didn't care probably to know. So I can't put it on him. Because to him, he was just getting his nuts off. He was just getting his sweet meat juice off. So he didn't know. You know, he didn't, and if he didn't care probably either to even ask.
No, he didn't.
You know, she probably didn't have her wedding band on, you know.
Well, it's crazy out here. It's crazy, and folks.
You know what, man? I got even more stories, man. I can't wait the next week. I know y'all, we got to close this one out.
Yeah.
But man,
I have a question for you. So, and the people that is listening, because you know this Sunday's Easter, right? So the Friday before every Easter is called Good Friday, and I always ask people, what's so good about it? Well, it's the Friday before Easter. I said, well, ain't that the day they hung Jesus on the cross? Ain't that the day he died? What's so good about it? Well, he died for our sins. I said, at the time, they didn't know he was dying for our sins. I'm talking about before he died. They beat him, made him carry the cross, nailed him to the cross. What is so good? First of all, what's so good about anybody dying? You know what I'm saying? But what's so good about good? Why did they name it Good Friday? Can somebody answer that for me? Why is it called Good Friday, the day this man was crucified in front of thousands of people and they watched him die? What is so good about Good Friday?
Right.
Wouldn't Sunday be the good because that's when he rose? Easter. Wouldn't that be Good Sunday? Because that's when he rose. You know what I'm saying? Why would the day he died be the good day?
You got a good point.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, a lot of people ain't gonna know because we don't know why they call it Good Friday, but it's just something I was just thinking about. Because you know, a lot of things are gonna be closed Friday because it's Good Friday. But I'm like, what's good about it?
Yeah, I know I'm gonna be work. I know where I'm at ain't gonna be closed, but I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be an easy work weekend. You know what I'm saying? Long as I get me some boiled eggs and some Casberry eggs and stuff and the little jelly beans and some green grass, I'm cool with it. You know?
Is your company paying you time and a half?
Hell no. They don't want to pay me what they owe me now. Bastards don't want to pay me now.
I get it. Well, yeah, I was just something that I was thinking about. So happy Easter to everybody, man. You know, get your Easter dresses and suits and, you know, go Easter egg hunting, all that good stuff. You know, and be thankful. But I just always just wonder. I mean, me myself, I could never call that. And somebody was like, "Well, what if somebody had cancer, right? And they had to choose between living with cancer and dying? Wouldn't dying be a good thing?" I guess I ain't never died before, so I don't know if that would be a good thing or not. Well, you would be in eternity with God. And I was like, well, I guess I ain't never died. So if you have a choice between dying or living with cancer,
be
right?
on the highway to hell. I'm gonna be honest with you. Some of y'all ain't got a chance.
Thank you.
Automatically gonna get in.
If you living between a rock and a hard place, right? That's what you're doing.
Right.
You and what she was like, well, what about people who have suicides, medical suicides, they're tired of living with pain? Well, in the Bible, suicide is a sin. So you either gonna die, commit suicide, or live with cancer. So what is good about it? So this is what I was just thinking about. What is so good about Good Friday? Or why is it named Good Friday? But it is what it is.
You know the one thing I like about Easter? Is this the one time that kids go to church? Guaranteed.
You know the two top days, right?
Huh?
You know the two top days, right? Of church is Easter and Mother's Day.
Christmas, what you said? Mother's Day and
Easter and Mother's Day. Yeah,
I can see that.
Yeah, Easter and Mother's Day are the top 2 days. The majority of people go to church,
especially kids. Kids they definitely going to Easter because they be having them Easter egg hunts. That was the only time we used to wear our uniforms. The only time we ever went to church when I was growing up. Hell, Easter.
Right. Yeah.
A lot of times we didn't even have a basket. We had a grocery bag. A grocery bag full of fake grass.
Oh, yep, you're right. I tell you, to me, it's all political. It's all money making. They making money off of religion. They making money off of everything, man. That's crazy. That makes no sense whatsoever.
Man, speaking of, I just want to tell y'all, man, Sky, I want to thank you, man, for every Tuesday. I have so much. I swear.
I learned so much from you, man, every Tuesday.
It gets more fun.
Yeah, I learned so much from you, man, every Tuesday, man. Thank you for allowing me to come on here.
And vice versa, bro.
It's just the things that we're able to talk about and for people to be able to hear and listen and learn from us. Because folks, a lot of people don't like to have the hard conversations. You know what I'm saying? Right. And sometimes you got to have the hard conversation because it's a part of life. You know what I'm saying? So me and you can broker that, then that's fine. That's what people need to hear. It's the hard conversation. Whether we agree or disagree, you need to have those conversations because life is not all peaches and cream and roses,
Right. You're absolutely right, man. Tonight, you guys have the Off Top radio tonight.
Yep, I'm gonna have some new music tonight, so y'all tune in, listen, and from 7 to 9, and then the replay will be from 9 to 11, just in case you missed it or whatever. So yeah. Tune in and listen, man. And if you got music that you need played, or if you know any artist that needs radio play, send it to me at sky.black@gmail.com. That is sky.black@gmail.com. Send it to me as an MP3, and and I'll get you on there.
And you play,
and also let me know a little bit about
yourself,
your social media accounts and things like that too.
Yep, and he plays all genres.
Yeah.
Is there a genre of music that you don't play?
I won't say that, but it is something that I like. I don't have a lot of heavy metal or rock, or bluegrass. I don't have a lot of those,
Yeah, I got you.
But everybody else, I kind of have a little bit of this and that. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. That's sprinkled into there, yes. But yes, it will be live tonight, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. Y'all join in. I'm thanks to everybody who listens every week because you're really helping these artists out. Commenting, sharing, getting to know things like that. And then again, Off Top Records Net, the .net is networking. Y'all can get together and talk and network with each other on offtoprecords.net because that's the only way you want to grow. You got to network with other folks, and do things like that. Yeah.
I never understood that about indie artists. Their inability to share resources.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. I mean, me neither. I would want to get, if there was somebody who's doing a little bit better than me, I would DM them right now, like, hey, what are you doing? How you doing it? I'll pay you for your time, man. Can I take you to lunch? I just want to pick your brain, things like that. But folks, it's so much free stuff in this world. Folks want everything for free, and that's the problem. You know,
Yeah.
you can't have everything for free. You got to invest in something. So,
Yeah. But hey, man, we want to thank you guys for tuning in, man. Make sure y'all join us next week, same time. I'm probably going to do a podcast because I've been doing podcast shows until Kobe come back. So I have been doing them either on a Wednesday or Thursday. Right. So make sure if y'all follow me on Facebook that y'all stay tuned because I do like a 1 hour show. And it's fun also. It's not the same as when I'm kind of been going back and forth and bouncing off of Sky or, when I'm bouncing off of Kobe. But I'm getting used to, trying to get used to if I have to ever do a show by myself to be able to handle that. And I've gotten a lot better thanks to Sky and thanks to Kobe, but especially thanks to Sky. Man, you've been helping me out a big ton, a whole lot. And I'm very in your debt, man. So thank you.
No problem. Hey, what is your? I just now joined TikTok. I told myself I never would, but I did. How do I find you on TikTok?
I think it's Damo Unleashed, but I think I did see you on there.
Okay.
I think you did. I think maybe this was like 2 or 3 days ago.
But I don't even know how to find people. Like. I'm on
profile. I think you did, but I'm gonna give you my URL. When we get off of here, I know I gotta go make a run, but I'm gonna give you my TikTok URL so you can find it.
Okay, I can do that because
I have been doing short videos. I think I tagged y'all in the one where I was just talking about it's 2 kind of people that I'm not hard on, and those are dudes that ain't shit and whores. Like I'm not really hard on, and I kind of broke down why, like the purpose thing. So I'm starting to do short videos to help kind of promote. You know what I'm saying? It's talking points. And I got one off of a conversation that we had. You know what I'm saying? It's just talk about that a lot of these females, instead of being mad at their baby daddy's other baby mama, they need to get in with her and find out and learn. Because if not, the kids gonna end up sleeping together. And be brother cousins, sister cousins.
Gotcha. I just found you. So yeah, we friends on TikTok. Gotcha. Okay. Yep. Gotcha. Okay. I just wanted to make sure before we got off that we were good on that aspect. Okay. Yeah. Gotcha. Yeah. So because I told myself I didn't want to do Snapchat, TikTok, but since we've been taking this seriously, I've decided to go ahead and just create a TikTok page and so we can do what we need to do or whatever. But for a while, I ain't trying to do no more username and password. Yeah,
I took off Snapchat. Snapchat is like it was a bit too much.
And then what's the new thing that is it Instagram or Facebook is doing called Threads or whatever?
Threads. Instagram got Threads now.
Yeah,
which is supposed to be, yeah, and it's supposed to be an off-brand X or Twitter. Yeah, but I can't keep up, and I'm not gonna try to keep up.
I can't keep up with all that stuff. Hell, I can barely remember my name sometimes. Think about all them damn username and passwords. Hell, like
I be using glasses on my face and using on my neck.
That's correct. But yeah, man. But if y'all do get together, man, tell Kobe I said hello, what's up, and y'all let's be prepared for next Tuesday. I hope y'all enjoyed the show because this was real interesting. Because sometimes you hear things like, I thought I heard it all in all my years, but this one right here with the lady and the brother, that's new. That man.
There's a video. I wish I would have kept it. Right. I'm gonna make this story. I got less than 4 minutes, and I gotta make this quick. So did y'all see the video? I don't know if this came across your page. If it haven't, it's going to. Right. But this dude was talking about how he, with this girl, they got an intimate relationship, and they wanted to take it to another level. Right. So they went to one of these sex stores. She bought a little vibrator, right? Right. So they went home, they did their business, and then they tried the vibrator, right? And she squirted about 3 times. Right. According to him. And he was like, it turned him on so much that he pulled it out of her and then started sucking on it. You heard me right. It almost took me out the game, man. They almost had to come revive me. Because I had to go ahead and play this shit back to see if he said what the fuck he said. And he said what the fuck he said.
That's some freaky
the normality that
of
he's
grade type stuff. That is
I said,
terrible.
man, I was stunned. I'm still stunned.
Right.
I said, man, I was so shocked and appalled that I didn't even share the video. Because you know, usually when I find crazy videos, I always share them with y'all, right?
Right.
I was such in shock. I rolled right past it because I'm still. I'm like, he didn't say that. Nah, he ain't say that, dang.
Yeah.
His brother ain't say that. And this was a brother. This wasn't, so it was even more disappointing.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, nah, man, you ain't gonna let that go by us. And us not catch that, man. I had to play it back to make sure I heard what I heard. And I heard what I heard.
Yep. Well, and that's kind of hard to unhear. How about that?
Man, the craziest thing I ever heard, man. But we gonna come back, y'all, next week with more stories. I want to thank you guys for tuning in. We here every week, man, the same time, same day, and our show is getting more wild. We always have great stories, and you know what I'm saying? And the news story too, I think it was crazy when they were talking about this bill of making a pathway for undocumented immigrants to get a house, making it very easier than you and I was able to get a house. I think that's bizarre. I don't care what state. Personally, I wouldn't care if California, man, you know what? I know there's a real God. I know there is, so I would never question him. But Lord, the one thing I would question you on is, can you please break California off from the United States of America? I don't care if you dump it in the middle of the Pacific Ocean. I don't care what you do to it. But please separate them from us, man. Please break California up. We are not akin to them. You know what I'm saying? That is the drug addicted cousin. You know what I'm saying? They come to the family reunion with like 50 arms and needles in their arm. We don't know that, okay? Please break them off. In Jesus' name, amen, please. I
It's
do
all
not
few
like
years ago that they were trying to cut up California. They were going to call it the 6 states of California. That's how big California is. 6 states of California. They wanted to do that because that's how so many people are divided in California.
Give it to Mexico. Please, please. Can y'all please give California to Mexico? It's already, man, almost 90% Hispanic anyway. Other than Hollywood, if you take Hollywood out of there, you know you would have. Look, California, if you took Hollywood out, right, it would be homeless and Hispanics. That's the only two they got. Everybody else moved away. So can y'all please go ahead and get California to Mexico? We don't want it no more. Right. You know what I'm saying? We'll take all the other ones, but we don't want California. Arizona, y'all close. We close to want to be done with y'all. Mm-hmm. You know, all y'all got to give us back is a pack of Bazooka Joe, you know what I'm saying, and some gum, and you know, and whatever else. But I'm sick of California.
Well, you're really gonna be sick because a lot of people are leaving. They've already said 500,000 left, and they traveling other places, man. And everywhere I go, they are building and building and building here in Tennessee. Man, you won't be able to go outside without hitting somebody in the elbow. You know what I'm saying? It's gonna
get on our area alone. I see what it is bizarre. This stuff is bizarre, man. You hear me? I'm already, you know, that's why I'm connecting to all my people on Bigo. That's why I'm connecting to all y'all, because I'm trying to see what y'all live at. I don't want to live here no more. You hear me? I know it's going to be maybe a whole decade and a half, but I swear, I don't want to live here no more, because it don't even, the things that made me fall in love with Tennessee, I don't love about Tennessee anymore. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I understand.
But man, I got to get up out of here, brother. Thank you
All right,
again
y'all.
for another great show. Thank y'all for tuning in.
Yeah.
Man, next week, stay tuned, y'all. We'll have some more. And make sure y'all
All right,
tune
y'all.
in
See y'all
tonight.
next week.
Yep, and make sure y'all tune in tonight. offtoprecords.net or offtopradio.com. And
Yes,
y'all
sir.
can go over to his other page, offtoprecords.net.
Yes. Thank y'all so much. I'll see y'all in a few hours on the D Bling Radio Show.
Yeah, we out. Peace.